What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 Times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to smash that like button. Definitely watch the video to the end to hear the full story. Let's get right into it. Going to make moves in the streets is dangerous enough. If you are robbing, taking cars, anything that involves going after another person's things, it could cost you more than your freedom. It could cost you your life. And in certain states, if someone with you is hurt while committing a crime, you could be charged with their death, and which some cases can be tricky, especially if the people involved are juveniles. Then the question becomes, did they know exactly what they was doing, or did they know the law at all? And today on Hood Tales, we will be taking it to Millbrook, Alabama, not too far from Montgomery, to discuss a case that has gained national attention over the last few years. Lakeith Smith, at the time 15 years old, and a few friends, including then 16-year-old Adante Washington, were doing what most teenagers do, going around looking for something to get into. Allegedly, the group decided to hit some homes in the Millbrook area. According to sources, the boys hit one home, got a few electronics and a couple of dollars before going up the block to find another empty house. As they went into the second home, a neighbor called police. This is where things went left. Two Millbrook officers arrived. One went through the front door, the other went through the side door of the home. When allegedly shortly after, shots went off. As the second officer ran to the backyard, he claimed that Dante had a blicky in his hand, and Adante was hit 3 times and was gone on the scene. As Adante's father and family realized what happened to him, he let it be known that he was a good kid that wanted to play football and even wanted to go to college, and even more, he was a good son. But it would get crazy when the community realized the 4 other teens involved would not only be charged with the burglary and the theft, but also the hit of Adante, even though none of them had a blicky or fired any shots. All 4 were charged as adults, and 3 of them quickly took plea deals, but Lakeith Smith felt as though he didn't pull the trigger and shouldn't be responsible for something he didn't do. Prosecutors will bring up similar cases in other states, with teens being charged when someone loses their life in the mix of a crime. And the courts in Alabama quickly brought up the law, saying the hit in the state carries up to 99 years, and saying Lakeith should have took the plea deal of 25 years. Questions came up, such as did the teens realize something like this could happen? And as the shooting of Adante was explained, the state ruled it justified and the officer was not charged or held accountable. But since this was the Deep South, a lot of other questions popped up. Lakeith was eventually found guilty of all charges and sentenced to 65 years in prison. He was arrested in 2015 at just 15 years old and sentenced in 2018 at 18 years old. As time went on and other things happened in the world, some started looking back into Lakeith's case and the fact that he was only 15 at the time. Some felt as though another look should be taking place into the situation, or the officer, was he wrong for firing the shots in the beginning? Being that it is the Deep South, a lot of people felt as though it could be a cover-up. Free Lakeith posts and posters started going up everywhere, people believing that the whole case was messed up and based on old Southern laws and traditions. A GoFundMe and petition was raised for Lakeith. Thousands of dollars were raised to help fight his case, and thousands of signatures to free the young man from prison or reduce his sentence, which it was reduced, but only by 10 years, from 65 years to 55 years. It's still some people fighting to get the young man free and to get the shooting investigated a little more, but some people feel as though the law is the law. Lakeith is still locked up at this time, but new eyes are looking into the case. Rest in peace to Adante Washington. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. More of this story, we all do stupid things as teenagers, but you gotta know when the law is set up against you, especially in certain places, and if you are a certain group of people. It's been a setup for decades, so we gotta remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, crazy story, you feel me? First and foremost, like I said, rest in peace Adante, because as young men, we all make mistakes, and unfortunately, that one ended up being fatal, you know what I mean? It's a lot of speculation far as did he aim the blicky that they tried to say he had on him? Did he aim it? You know, was the shooting justified or whatever? But they trying to say they already looked at the footage, you know, the officer's footage, and they say that was the situation, you know. But his people was saying he was a good kid, you know, he just got caught up in a messed up situation. As far as the other three, they took plea deals, I think, of 25 years. But like I said, Lakeith felt as though he wasn't gonna take a plea deal, and he ended up getting 65 years. And they tried to paint the picture like, well, he ain't just get 65 years for the hit of Adante. He got 65 years for the burglary, for the theft, for other charges. And they say the only reason that they charged them as adults because allegedly the group was doing other crimes in the area and they was familiar with them. So they felt as though they need to get them off the streets. But man, like I said, you know, it's a touchy situation because this is the South, you know, the deep South, you know what I mean? And they play by a different set of rules sometimes, man. In a case like this, man, you know, it's gonna take a lot of eyes on it. It's gonna take for a lot of attention to be on it for them to overturn that, because they stand on that. They stand on their convictions, especially if they feel like ain't nobody paying attention. I mean, at 15 years old, you really don't know what you're getting yourself into, you know, and then you ain't thinking like, if we go do this, this might happen, or I might lose my friend and be charged with the hit. You ain't thinking on that level. So when this happened, like I said, they held them for 3 years. By that time, you 18. That's usually what they do. They hold you until you grown, then they charge you as an adult. Even though you already charged as an adult, I mean, they convict you as an adult, and then they uphold that sentence. So he went back to court, he gave back 10 years, he had 65 years. So now Lakeith got 55 years, you know, and I ain't really heard nothing else more about it, but it was just an interesting story to me, because I was like, dang, like they were so young, you know. And even for the other three to get 25 years in prison at 15, 16 years old, that's crazy, you know what I mean? Even if they was 18 for something that they really ain't know what was gonna happen. But like I say, in certain states, man, you gotta know them laws. If you with somebody and something happen, you could be charged with that hit. But I wanna know what y'all think about this situation, man. Do y'all think they need to go ahead and free them, let them up out of there because they was too young to understand? Just let me know in the comments, man. Be sure to smash that like button. I appreciate you if you made it to the end, man. Y'all already know it's nothing but love, fam. It's your boy Tony 2 Times. I'm out.